Hey everybody! You might be asking, Niska, why are we back here at the power plant? I forgot a document! I got so far into my recording and then realized I was one off! No! Well, since we escaped the major part of Raccoon City, there is still a chance to reload a save, but I'm honestly just gonna save the achievement for the Inferno playthrough. God, how can I forget one? There was even a moment where I passed it in the episode! I'll get over it. No worries.
Oh, it's been a while. Subway's got to be clear of the city by now.
Along with your hot date.
Nah, she's not like that. Hell, she's not like anybody.
All right, keep your head screwed on, Romeo. This is the police station.
You sure? It looks like a cemetery to me.
What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Resident Evil 3 Remake. So, yeah, Carlos gets to come to RPD. It's an interesting turn. I'm honestly okay with it. I wouldn't have minded if Jill came here either. There is a lot more reason to come to the police station as Carlos with this new remake and rewrite. He's coming here to secure a target, so to speak. So, at least there's a reason for him to be here. But there's another reason why they brought Carlos here, and it's to tie to Resident Evil 2.
Brad, stop! T.
Come on, man. Not you too. Sorry.
Sorry!
Shit, it's locked.
You stay on the door. I got this fucker. Come get some!
Hey, what's up, Brad? You are a very strong zombie, so I'm not gonna fight you yet. And it's totally not because there's a secret little Easter egg if you come down here first while Brad Zombie is still alive and kicking. Remember this?
Oof. You look better in the poster, Brad.
I don't know who at Capcom thought, hey, let's put a little extra piece of dialogue here just in case people want to try and loop Brad underneath the police station. You know, for old time's sake, just bring Brad down underneath here. Maybe he's got a hidden key that unlocks costumes. That'd be kind of cool. And then there's that.
Somebody didn't have time to put his blues on.
A lot of this dialogue and a lot of these documents are all the same for Carlos. It's just that one piece of dialogue, while Brad is still alive as a zombie, which is kind of counterintuitive, but whatever. That's the only time that dialogue shows up. It is so well hidden that I don't think a lot of people know about it. Does it change anything? Oh, absolutely not. It's just one of those funny quirks where it's just like, oh, that's kind of cool. They thought about that. So I'm sure a lot of you know from the very, very vocal Resident Evil community when this came out, knowing that Jill would not be coming to the police station and it would instead be Carlos's section. There was ideas for Jill and Brad to come to RPD. That was the original plan early on in development. They were actually going to get information about this entire thing from Ben Bertolucci. Now, hopefully I pronounced his name right. He was investigating Umbrella, and then he ended up in jail in Resident Evil 2. When they arrived, Nemesis would have attacked, Brad would have been killed, Jill would wake up later in the night, she would meet with Ben, he wouldn't leave, but then she had her newfound information As she was leaving, she would have been attacked by Zombie Brad and then Nemesis.
Sorry, poster boy.
And there's the extra piece of dialogue after you beat Zombie Brad. It's just so cool. There's a before and after. So, after Nemesis would attack, that's when she would meet Carlos. So, essentially, it would have been a whole different beginning. I'm okay with either. It would have been kind of cool to recreate the original's opening, but I'm okay with this. There was the rewrite here where Carlos and Tyrell actually come to RPD, and with that, they were able to tie it closer to Resident Evil 2, such as Marvin getting bitten by Brad, thus leading to the line, the advice he gives to Leon, if you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate, because that's what happened to him. He hesitated.
Where'd that cop go?
Don't know, don't care. We got a job to do. If our intel's still worth a damn, then Bard's in the STAR's office. Let's find him and take him into custody.
Custody? I thought this was a rescue.
Looks like there's some extra details that Carlos doesn't know about for this special mission. Our target's in the STAR's office. We need to make it there. Marvin's nowhere to be seen, but... Will you hold on, Tyrell? Alright, fine.
Remember, Bard had access to Umbrella's darkest secrets. He knows we'll try to keep him under our thumbs.
So this search and rescue mission is really more like find and detain. Right. Good to know.
I'll open the shutter so you can get through.
You stay here and find out what's been going on here at the station.
Call you if I find anything. Hey! Be careful.
Yeah. You too, man.
I like that Carlos is fleshed out more. He did have a particular personality when it came to RE3.
Area looks clear.
And in the remake, we got to have a lot more. Like, he's actually putting forethought to what his unit is actually doing. Like, when he actually goes, this sounds like more of a find and detain, he almost sounds pissed off about it. He really does want to help people, and you can tell with this version of Carlos. He's like, I actually want to go out and help people. When Jill accuses him, he goes, hey, we all want the same thing. I want to help people. So I kind of like that. It's like he's being led in the dark.
Now here's a weird fucking door.
Leave it. We're here for Bard.
Now, that's not to say he doesn't have a few really crap lines. That one is funny, however. I really like that. See, survival horror can poke fun at itself from time to time, and Carlos being the outsider to all of this Resident Evil bullshit, I'll just call it what it is, it's kind of refreshing to go, this door looks fucking stupid. So, he gets a pass on that one for me. It is kind of out of pocket to just be like, well, here's a weird fucking door. It's like, alright, tone it down a bit. And I like how not a lot of the puzzles are unleashed from Resident Evil 2 yet. That's alright. That'll probably be unleashed when more of the survivors try to, barricade the place. I'm assuming Marvin's at a different part of the police station, gathering everybody together, figuring out what to do next. And chances are, after we're done here, this shutter's going to close again, and the button is going to be taped over. I've always wondered why I can't just reach in for that ammo, but that would kind of break things. The reason you wanted Brad's card. In the original, it was to get around the police station. Here, since you were able to get into the police station, you can unlock little weapon caches. So you can get some extra ammunition. 16 shots, are you kidding me? That's barely anything. It's the same one from Resident Evil 2. We do it. They set out to remake Resident Evil 2 after fans demanded it, and we do it.
What the hell was that thing?
Tyrell? Tyrell, there's a big monster thing with like a whip tentacle. We already have Nemesis, but what about this stupid thing?
Well, that was fast. Don't tell me you chickened out. Carlos, the STARS office. You going or not?
So speaking of hidden dialogue, Tyrell actually has different dialogue pieces for how far you are in the Raccoon Police Department. It's actually kind of interesting.
Couldn't have been a zombie.
Unless it was one of those beta RE2 zombies where it was combined with a liquor. God, that would suck. The reason I'm okay with this section, instead of Jill going to RPD, is we get to truly see how close within the timeline RE2 was to RE3. Resident Evil 2 hasn't happened yet. We are seeing the events leading into it.
I didn't stick around.
Certain things that you saw in Resident Evil 2 now have an explanation for how they happened. There's still a few zombies running around, and of course there's a few inconsistencies, like the weapon caches weren't there. Those were probably moved to try and help with the barricades later on. The liquors are still around the police station. The one that was here just kind of fucked off after it killed a bunch of human people, and now they're zombies. This is just so interesting. It's almost like being in the writer's room and seeing the storyboards. It's like, okay, how did we get here? Why don't we add that to Resident Evil 3 to have it further explained? So, yeah, it works for me. And no, this isn't just a whole lot of huffing copium. It's just like, it actually makes sense for this section to be here. They wove it into the main part of the story and made it make sense. If it was just out of nowhere, Carlos just going, oh, hey, I'm at RPD now for no fucking reason, then I would have to be like, alright, we need to have a talk, Capcom, please. Oh, there is an item over there. Okay. I just wanted to double, triple check everything that's around here. There's no map here yet, but probably because a lot of people didn't make it over to this section. It's funny that this TV is clearer than the one in Jill's room, but maybe it's because it's smaller. Hey, flash grenades, finally! Ooh, this hasn't been chained off yet either. That's a cap.
T, you copy? There's something real nasty in here. I don't know what it is.
Something nasty? Alright. I'll take a look with the cameras. Watch your six.
I'm very surprised Carlos didn't mention that immediately after seeing the liquor. But then again, we also kind of ran like a little scaredy baby when it showed up, so I guess I don't blame him. There's a lot of zombies in this hallway, so I'm just going to take some time to talk over a couple other things about this game that are interesting to learn about. And I actually wanted to talk about the cutscene that led into this episode. Jill getting on the train, Nikolai leaving them all to die, and Mikhail pulling a badass action moment. All three of those things were amazing. Nemesis on the train, just menacingly on fire over the bodies of the people we saved from Raccoon City. Amazing. That is such good imagery right there. Nikolai immediately bolting. The smell of danger was around. It's like, oh, it smells like danger around here. He was out of there. And that look of, he's not after me. Oh, that's good. Neil Newman. Oh my god. Your acting skills, my friend. They're so good. And while we're talking about actors, that little lead up to Mikhail blowing up Nemesis, they give you just a small hint where the camera actually pans to the C4 and then back to Jill as she's cussing out Nikolai. And then you see Mikhail get dragged into the back by Nemesis where he blows himself sky high hoping to take the monster with him. That is a hell of a way to go. And if I were to make a connection to Aliens again, this is just, oh my god. This is just an out-of-nowhere connection. I don't think it was intentional, but if it was, somebody at Capcom's playing 4D chess. I cannot believe it. William Hope is actually the man who plays Mikhail. He also plays Dr. Bard, who we're going to meet a bit later. William Hope was in Aliens as Lieutenant Gorman. And spoilers if you haven't seen Aliens, Lieutenant Gorman blows himself up too. So I guess William Hope just has... He now has a pedigree as a man who blows himself up. It's so bad, but it's such an odd connection. I was reading up on IMDb. I was like, there's no way. Made sure it was the character I was thinking of. I was like, oh my god, that's such a good connection. If you know the codes and any of the safes, they still work here. So if you unlock them in Resident Evil 2, they work the exact same way here. So get some free items. All the solutions are still here, so you can find them yourself if for some reason you started at Resident Evil 3. Maybe you wanted to do a timeline run. I totally understand that. We got a scope for our assault rifle. Yay! I'm losing my voice because of it. I'm so happy. And also because I have a bad habit of wasting ammo. So I guess the guy that was arrested with all the explosives, I guess people around RPD started using those explosives when the shit started to go down. And there were a few messages about this guy. So he got around. There were explosives everywhere. There's one upstairs on the 3rd floor. There's one that's been moved to a different place, but just to be on the safe side, remove the battery from the detonator. Makes sense. I mean, within the confines of the story, it's just like, hey, we need a reason for the explosives to be here. Hey, what about that guy who was setting explosives all over the place in RE2? Yeah, that'll work, that'll work. I have a funny feeling I know the solution to this, but I'll show you where to find the answer, just in case. The JoJo locker is even still here, so we still get a reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in Resident Evil 3. There is a special achievement for shooting the hats off of zombies. Post-X will put up how many zombie hats you need to take off. I don't think there are even enough for one single run to get the achievement. So, during multiple playthroughs, just remember, take the hats off zombies. And what an odd one, just out of left field, is just like, shoot the hats off zombies. I guess it's just something they wanted to kind of brag about. Which, you know, I understand. New tech. Gotta show it off one way or another. Alright. That should be all of them.
Kinda fucked up shooting cops.
It's alright, man. They're undead. I guess it would still be kind of weird to shoot them, but you've seen hundreds of these by now, Carlos. Come on. What an Easter egg. But I just want to know, developers at Capcom, why on earth is it here in Resident Evil 3 and not 2? Now, granted, we got a brand new version of the save room theme when we played RE2. And points for style for putting the Resident Evil 2 save room theme in a room you would visit in Resident Evil 2 in 3.
Well, if cameras killed those things, I'd be set.
That is such a weird thing to say, Carlos. Unless you've played Fatal Frame, then it might make a little bit of sense. I doubt he's actually referencing Fatal Frame, but it's just so out of nowhere that it has to be, right? I'll have to do a deep dive on some of the devs. Maybe some of them worked for Fatal Frame. I don't know. Those are completely different companies, though, so I don't see how. 9, 15, 7. There we go. Now look at that. It's the exact same thing. Now, I know a few people are going to start raising their fists going, well, if you take it, that won't leave it for Leon or Claire. I mean, you're right. But we're not playing as Leon and Claire. We're playing as Carlos and Jill. It's fine. Video games don't have to make 100% of sense.
Carlos, the STARS office is up ahead.
Copy that.
We're almost at the STARS office, and this is where we get to something interesting that Tyrell will bring up, so I ran back to go talk to him.
Our intel places Bard in the STARS office. You want me to write it down for you?
Got anything?
Yeah. I had eyes on a handful of survivors. They might be able to tell us about the dock, but they're cut off. Probably looking for a place to hide.
Then I better hurry.
This one is interesting. I've gone onto forums, I've gone to different YouTube videos, just taking a look at what people have to say about this particular missable line from Tyrell. There is a possibility that that is a reference to Outbreak. Again.
Okay. Guess we'll be doing this the explodey way.
There's also the possibility that it has absolutely nothing to do with Outbreak, and it's just a few survivors that are still left in the police station. Take your pick. You technically can't be wrong. Managed to rig up a pretty good bomb, but we don't have any batteries. Safe deposit room, okay. That's pretty neat. Aw, that's sad. A gift for your upcoming move. Oh, that's nice. Hey, what about this locker?
Better not.
I'd like to think Carlos took the note with him, and that's why Leon accidentally is able to open the locker and get jumped by a corpse. Nice little detail. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And see, this is where I kind of get like, you know, hold up the arms to find balance between this. It's just like, okay, that makes sense why Leon opened the locker. But at the same time, I was able to take the side pack. I don't know. I guess certain things, maybe Carlos didn't want to solve puzzles during this, and that's how Leon and Claire have it. Again, it's a video game. I'm not going to think too much about it. The one thing I will think about a lot, and I know a lot of people hate this inconsistency, but I might have an explanation for it. You remember this wall just not being here in RE2? Go with me on this. It might be a stretch. It might be a Mr. Fantastic amount of stretch. But I think the moment Carlos blows a hole in the bathroom wall, making that specific entry into RE2, causes the wall to fall because it is directly underneath the bathroom. That's my hot take. Take it or leave it. Alright. I think I'm ready for this. You saw the save symbol. You know what's coming. I want to get rid of this guy. Oh my god. What the hell? Am I drunk? Shoot at the thing! Whoa! Okay. So, lickers are a tad harder in RE3. A lot of enemies are harder in RE3 because there are no more sub-weapons that you can use as self-defense. God damn, I might be dead. You get the animations just like you did in RE2, but there's no way to defend yourself, which is very interesting. We do have a dodge, though.
99.
So I guess it kind of evens out. Like, if you don't dodge the thing, then, well, you're gonna get hit by it. But at the same time, I had an extra. I could have used a flash grenade. It would have been fine. I'm not gonna get too held up about it. I do like that they have you fight at least one licker as Carlos. You can't get out of it that easily. Oh, hello. How long have you been in here? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, here's another thing where it's just like, okay, it makes sense within the world of RE2 and 3. See, there are certain things where it's like, okay, that makes sense, but at the same time, I know I keep harping on this, because it's so silly in my mind, but at the same time I have to, like, hold myself down and be like, don't worry about it. The lockers you can open as Leon and Claire are correct. They are in here. The lights aren't on, which means you can't see the items inside. But the ones that do have the lights on are ones that you can open with Carlos, that you couldn't open with Leon or Claire. That's kind of interesting. So I guess it's just the, like, very optional stuff where they're just like, there can be a little lapse in the timeline, I guess. I'm not gonna complain. I like free stuff. And I swear that'll be the last time I bring up inconsistencies. It's not that big of a deal.
Mine now.
Still having a good time.
Come the papa.
But he really likes hand grenades, apparently. Alright! If you're a first-timer, I'm going to give you a very important hint. Use your oh, hello. Use your sub-weapons to your advantage. Try to salvage as much ammo as you can. If you don't have to kill a zombie, don't. I just want to come up here just to reiterate. The wall will explode. Don't worry about that. I also want to get the goodies inside of this. Devil cries, maybe. Ooh, actually, that's really good. Alright, I think we're ready. Got plenty of assault rifle, got plenty of handgun. It's a really good idea to pick up that hand grenade, because if you don't, you might be screwed. Because this part is actually kind of tough.
Carlos, I've hit a dead end with the terminal here. Gotta head your way. Copy that.
Now, one thing I want to know is how the hell does Tyrell get to us after this situation? Comment down below on how you think Tyrell got here. Because, yeah. I want you to take a look at this and try to figure it out logically.
Gotta move.
There it is. There's the steam from RE2. And now, just so many zombies come filtering through. Some of them were in the shower. Some of them were in the room prepping themselves for their eventual shower. You gotta be careful, because you are in close quarters. You are probably running out of ammo if you've been playing as bad as I have. Some of them don't get up until you move closer, which really sucks. So, my advice to you is use the flash grenade if you still have it, and know when to change rooms. That is paramount. Another thing you can do is take out their legs. You can either bust out their kneecaps, or, ow, that was steam, or what you can do is shoot at their ankles or their feet. Doing that will immobilize them entirely. No feet, no walking. They'll be on the floor the entire time, so you can kind of circle around them, get some good head shots. Oh my god. The main reason I'm not doing it is because everything's so much damn faster, and I'm bad at it. Yeah, to give... Oh my god. To give you an example of just why I don't shoot off legs or anything like that, is because, no joke, it barely happened during any of my playthroughs of RE3. Like, I tried. I went for the RE2 method. Shoot their legs, break it off, and there you go. You've got just crawling targets. Playing RE3, they actually changed where the damage is on the legs and feet. And so you actually have to legitimately try and blast off their legs and feet. And that's the reason I don't do it. Not because I'm lazy, but because I truly can't figure out where to shoot them. My advice for that, just stay back as close as you can to the steam, and when you have to change rooms, do it, because you can get overrun immediately. Now, before you move on, make sure you have 6 notes in your police station section. There is one more file to get. The Steam is actually a point of no return. I should have reminded you about this before we blew up the wall. God damn it. Well, if you haven't played this section yet, please, before you do anything else, go get the files.
This asshole.
I'm not fucking with you. I've had enough of your bullshit liquor. Hand grenade is an instant kill on a liquor. I didn't feel like dealing with him. I'll just do that. It's fine. Yeah, there's actually 2 point of no returns here at RPD with Carlos. It's blowing up the wall and entering the STARS office. 2 separate ones. I guess it's just to keep the story going, you know, move you in the right direction so you don't get distracted. I understand the one in the STARS office completely because that's story-based. But blowing up the wall, I mean, that one sends up RE2, so I guess they know what they're doing. We got everything. Yay! That's a clean RPD. Now let's get Dr. Bard.
Dr. Bard.
Oh, thank God. Do you know how long I've been trying to reach somebody?
Don't worry, we're gonna get you out of there. Just tell me where you are.
I'm trapped in a goddamn hospital, surrounded by every kind of abomination. Look, just send in STARS. They're gonna know what to do.
No, negative. RPD's overrun too.
Then figure it out! Umbrella's gone crazy. They're killing all the researchers. I am the only one who knows how to make the vaccine to stop the zombies. So you can either sit there with your dick in your hand or send somebody who's capable of getting me the hell out of here.
I like him already.
Yeah, you would. You heard what he said. We can't turn him over to the company.
That's not our call to make. That's Mikhail's call. I'm gonna check the computer, see if I can trace the doc's location. This'll take some time. Look around, see if you can find anything useful.
As you're exploring, do not exit the STARS office. That'll trigger the next cutscene and you'll miss out on a couple things. All of the same Easter eggs are still here from RE2, like Rebecca's pouch will always have a first aid spray. There is an item box in here. This one's actually kind of fun. I never knew about this until I started researching the LP.
Oh yeah, the kids still got it. Let that be a lesson to all dartboards.
Shut up, Tyrell! That was cool! Still a red herb here, which is nice. And correct me if I'm wrong, fellow RE fans. Dr. Bard, I don't think he ever had a chance to speak in the original RE3. This could just be me not remembering a game I played so many, many years ago. He's a douchebag. I assume that was 110% intentional to make him unlikable, but just him working with Umbrella made him unlikable. I mean, what do you mean? It is also funny that we lost Mikhail and immediately got another guy played by William Hope. It's hilarious. Please? Oh.
Is that Jill in the front row?
Yeah, it is. This just takes me back to when I tried to identify all the STARS members back in one of my original Resident Evil Let's Plays, and I think I called one of the guys Rebecca. Not one of my brighter moments. Here's some good flavor in this file right here. Alpha Team got dispatched. They got entangled in here, so Alpha and Bravo had to deal with Arklay Mountains. The murders that went on there, Umbrella Corporation, it's the mansion incident. But you notice it was rejected. Secret lab beneath the mansion, the T-virus and the experiments. The mansion blowing up kind of fucked over any future investigation into this. That sucks. And Carlos finding this note kind of reiterates why Jill is so on edge about Umbrella. That's some good flavor.
Yeah, what's up? Derailed? Was anyone hurt?
Jill?
Ah, shit. Wait, what? Jill! Jill, what happened? Jill, come in! T, I gotta go.
Do what you gotta. I'll take care of Bard.
Stop.